Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Youthman. In this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing as well as a brief overview of Marantz's brand new AV7705 preamp processor. Now, before we jump into the video, if you're into home theater, audio, and video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. Now, before we get into the video, I want to give a big thanks to Marantz and Sound United for sending me the 7705 to review for you guys. Now, over the past several months, I've been using the SR8012 Marantz receiver. It's an 11.2 channel receiver, and I've been using that to power all 11 speakers in this theater room, and man, it has done a phenomenal job. And so I'm really curious to hear how the 7705 paired up with the Emotiva XPA 11 channel amplifier that I just received just a few weeks ago. So enough talking, let's get to unboxing. On the front of the box, we can see some of the various features that it supports, such as Dolby Atmos DTS:X, Oro 3D, which that is fantastic to get in one single receiver, Odyssey XT32 room correction software, HDR HDCP 2.2 processing, as well as Dolby Vision, and then a ton of streaming services such as Deezer, iHeartRadio, Napster, Pandora, Tidal, as well as Spotify and others. Now, the AV7705 is IMAX enhanced certified, as well as got built-in HEOS and Amazon Alexa control. So let's get this unboxed and see what's inside. Now, some of you may not be familiar with the difference between a preamp processor and an AV receiver. Now, typically in a home theater setup, most guys just choose to go with an AV receiver, which basically is what this unit is, a preamp as well as a processor. So the preamp allows you to select the different sources such as Blu-ray, Pandora, CD, PlayStation 4, those types of things, as well as doing all of the internal processing like Dolby Vision and HDR. So inside the box, we've got a remote, as well as batteries, owner's manual and quick start guide, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas, as well as your AM/FM antenna. Now, one thing I really appreciate about Marantz is they provide this really neat set of labels that you can put on all of your speaker cables. And so when you have something like an 11.2 channel setup, there's a lot of connections back there on the back of the preamp and processor. And so having these labels that you can attach to each speaker wire makes it really convenient and helps you to stay organized. A rocket ship to launch your Odyssey calibration mic around the room, or you can actually use it what it was intended to be used for, which is to set your Odyssey calibration microphone on so that you can correct your room with Odyssey. A very thick IEC 2-prong power cable, as well as your Odyssey calibration microphone. So let's go ahead and remove the preamp processor from the box. All right, you guys ready to take a look? And there she is. Nice. I've always loved the front of the Marantz. Man, that thing looks absolutely killer, especially with these rounded edges. Really like that. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. The front of the 7705 features a beautifully brushed aluminum finish with a very clean and minimalistic look. At the very top left, we have the input selector. Over in the middle, we have a small portal display which shows just some basic information such as volume and the input that's selected. And over to the far right, we have our volume knob as well as our IR sensor. And down on the bottom left, we have the main power button. If we press the bottom of the access panel, it reveals a number of additional controls. So at the top left, we have buttons for Pure Direct, MDAX, Dynamic EQ, and Dynamic Volume. In the middle, we have a larger display panel that allows us to see much more information than the small main portal display. Over to the far right, we have controls to access and navigate through the setup menu, such as the up and down, left and right navigation, as well as enter and the setup button. In the middle, we have sound presets for movie, music, and gaming, buttons for info, sleep, HDMI out, a dimmer to control the brightness of the front panel, status, and controls for both Zone 2 and Zone 3. At the bottom left, we have a 1/4 inch headphone jack output, an input for the Odyssey calibration microphone, a USB port, and HDMI and analog aux 1 inputs. Now if we spin the unit around to the back, we see a very well laid out rear panel. So at the top left, we have a Bluetooth wireless antenna connector, 2 digital coax and 2 fiber optic digital connections, a network connection, 7 4K HDCP 2.2 assignable HDMI inputs, HDMI out for Zone 2 as well as dual monitors, and a second Bluetooth wireless antenna connector. And down below that, we have 2 12-volt triggers that allows us to power on certain things such as external amps and sources, an RS-232 connection, various RCA analog connections, 7.1 channel inputs, and unbalanced pre-outs for Zone 2 and 3, as well as the 11.2 speakers. And at the bottom, we have a connection for our AM/FM antenna and a horizontal row of balanced pre-outs for all 11.2 speakers. Now, since the 7705 is a preamp processor, it does not have internal amplification. And so for this review, I'll be using the Emotiva XPA11, which is an 11-channel amplifier that has 300 watts by 3, as well as 65 watts by 8 channels. And so I'll be using that to power my Klipsch La Scalas that are behind my 150-inch screen, as well as my Klipsch RS62 version 2 side surrounds and rear surrounds, and my Dolby Atmos Klipsch CDT 5800C in-ceiling speakers. Now I'm also expecting the Monoprice Monolith 11-channel amplifier in the next few weeks, so I'll be able to swap it out with the Emotiva to see how do those two amplifiers compare using the 7705 PrePro. So if you haven't seen the unboxing and overview of the Emotiva XPA11, I'll link it right over here. Well guys, I'm excited to get the 7705 fired up and hear how it sounds in my theater room. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, and as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next video.